Welcome to For Love and Play. I'm matchmaker comic Yael Meisels. With me is comedians Kenan and Louie B. For Love and Play, the show about dating like a goddamn adult. We're going to discuss who to spend your time with for love or for play. Let's do it, boys.
This show contains adult content for entertainment purposes. Listener discretion is advised.
Not a doctor.
Welcome to the first podcast of For Love and Play. I am comedian matchmaker Yael Meisels. Joining me this evening is comedian Kenan and Louie B. as we take you on an incredible journey of how to date like a goddamn adult in New York City in 2015. Thanks for joining me, guys. Kenan, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you are excited to be on board with this project?
Oh, well, I'm definitely excited to be on board because I've been dating for over 15 years, being 31. Figured I started a little young, and I just observe being a comedian in New York City. I observe a lot of relationships, and I have a lot of things to say about the whole dynamic between love and play.
Absolutely, because there is a difference between the girl that you're gonna marry and actually have a family and commit to, and the girl that you're going to meet on Tinder and have a damn good time with. Very big difference. And Louie, thank you so much for being a part of this with us. It's a pleasure, and I'm so happy to work with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what kind of sparked your interest in not only being a part of it, but wanting to co-host it and kind of get your hands in the mix and get down and dirty, as they say.
Well, hey, everyone needs to improve on their dating game. The game, that's one of the things that's gone wrong with dating. It's viewed as a game, and a game has winners and losers. And when it comes to love, there shouldn't be. It should be all win-win, not let's get over on whoever. And as a person who's dated, I've been thrown under the bus, so hey, let's get the information out there to the peeps.
Let's see if there's a better way to do it, gentlemen, because it appears that matchmaking is really the oldest profession. It's this shit's been going on since the biblical times.
You want a wife? You want a wife? I got some good wives in the back. Wives, fine.
All right. But the funny part is that matchmakers still, even in 2015, we still have jobs. So it turns out that this shit's recession-proof, but you got to have an eye for it. You got to be good at it. But you also have to know, I think, a little bit about what is the difference between, dating for love and dating for play, casually dating and dating for the real deal. I only deal with people that are looking to get married. I'm not saying get married tomorrow, but you have to be marriage-minded. And I take on and turn down people all the time. And I'm, as the show progresses, we'll definitely get into that. But I think that it's important that people understand that there is a very, very, very big difference in what you're looking for in a relationship.
So, I mean, how long, what made you think that you could do this? I mean, how did you discover your superpowers, as it were?
Well, I wouldn't really call it a superpower. I would more or less call it, this started out, the first match I ever made, I made when I was 19 years old. But then when we decided to do the podcast, I started kind of digging through the archives of my memory. And I've kind of been pairing people off in one respect or another, oh, you should study with that person because you're this and they're that. And I just kind of had an idea, last night I said one of the things I admire so much about Kenan is that he actually knows how to kick a conversation back in the line. You know what I mean? Where that's an area of strength for him and a weakness for me. I think it's having that in tune. I don't know if it's the sixth sense or that, okay, you're strong here, you're weak there, but this is where it might make sense. And a lot of it's throwing, for lack of a better expression, throwing noodles against the wall and seeing what sticks. And eventually you kind of get a formula and learn how to get it. I want to say get it right, but the first official match that I made was when I was 19 years old. And I had two friends who shared common interests, and really did have just a profound connection, and they ended up getting married, and they are still married. So that was kind of like,
wow.
Yeah, the first pair, they're still doing it, and then came the second, and then came the third, and even like people have said to me, like let's say I have 2 clients and I set them up and they don't. It's not a match, but seldom does someone come back to me upset or saying that I was off the mark. It's usually very like almost casual, as no, you were really right. Like that was the type of person. Just this was that was the type of person I would actually, if they were more my look, or they were a little bit more this or a little bit more that, it would have made, like, the date made sense. You know what I mean? Like, I hardly ever, I would say I can even, honestly, I'm not even trying to sound arrogant, under 20 times have I had someone come back actually upset or saying that, oh, it's way off. And even in the way off situations, we go back again and I was spot on, you were not honest. That is a big one. That is a big one.
Yeah, that's very shocking. Because to have under 20 and been doing this for over 10 years that's such a great record. I feel like even for me, I have over 20 people who have I matched with that had bad results. And I only match people with me, so I guess maybe right. I'm the problem. I don't.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I'm in the negative numbers. I actually owe the universe something. That's how horrible I am.
We should be having expectations from you, then, apparently.
Yeah,
but
yeah, right.
No, I think that I've met other matchmakers, and it's kind of funny because it's like almost like you can. And I want to make clear that just because I happen to be Jewish, I do not deal predominantly or exclusively, I deal with people of all race, religion, sexuality, transgender, gay. I deal with the run of the gamut. So it's not, when you meet another matchmaker, Jewish or not, it's so thought of as a Jewish practice that I kind of like to give almost like an explanation that this has nothing to do with religion at all. Have you
hooked up a pansexual throuple, as it were?
I have not. No. No.
So
I don't think,
no experience.
but that's, I mean, I would. They just haven't knocked on my door yet. It could be.
Yeah, we would like to experiment with another 3 people. So,
it could be, that could be the next phone call. Who knows?
Yeah, so, all right. So, let's move it along. What do you think are the main problems with dating as when it comes to, let's start with men. Like, what mistakes men make?
Hoo-ha. Okay. So, I don't know if I would call them mistakes. I mean, it could be, mistake is actually probably a good word. All right. Men have and I'm going to narrow it down because dealing with the straight community, the issues are different. The gay community is different. So, but a common problem that I hear from men specifically is I couldn't, she put out on the first date, or she, this is, again, only for heterosexual men, the biggest is that I can't find wife material. I can't find somebody that I could proudly bring home to my parents, or I could, realistically conceive having a family with. And then I ask them to, and this is an exercise this has nothing, it has a little bit to do with me because it gives me, it lets me gain information, but it gives them a chance to almost like have a sounding board to review for themselves out loud what their last 5 first dates have been like. The guys who tell me that they cannot find wife material, their first dates usually look like either on a Thursday or Friday or Saturday night after 10 p.m. involving alcohol. And basically, and I want to make clear, I don't judge anybody. I don't care what you do. But when you're telling me you can't find wife material and you've basically just gone over a brief synopsis of 5 one-night stands, wouldn't it be interesting if instead of spending $100 on getting the 2 of y'all drunk, where then you F till 6 o'clock in the morning and then you're telling me she's not wife material, maybe meet at 2 o'clock on a Saturday. Go to Starbucks, get a cup of coffee, maybe go to the Museum of Natural History, have a fucking date, for crying out loud, and then tell me this girl's no good. That's a big one.
I
That is,
definitely
would say,
think that is probably one of the biggest mistakes in dating is that most dates always start with alcohol involved, and so does the second one and the third one. And you can quickly find out that people are way more fun under the influence. So once that influence is gone, then you're sitting there looking at your boring partner and you're wondering, like, what changed? And it was because Jack Daniels' threesome wasn't a part of it. Like,
exactly.
Well,
right. Now you all have to behave yourself in a social environment where it would be inappropriate to be drunk, and you don't have shit in common.
Okay,
that's
so
a big.
If I could jump in with like a certain mentality that's out there, like if a chick doesn't put out, and it's like, okay, I've paid for dinner, or I've paid for the fucking coffee, you know.
Why do you need to have sex with a stranger? That's my serious. Like,
I've
no
already,
one can ever give. There's no right or wrong answer to this, by the way. It's more like, excuse me. Why do you need to have sex with a stranger? Why? What if she gets pregnant?
Well, that's why you wear condoms.
Okay, but why?
Then why have sex?
Sure.
Oh, that was.
I'm saying.
Whoa! Wait, what?
Should have safe sex people. Have safe sex people.
Oh no, we're big advocates of safe sex. Big advocates of safe sex, and I'm not saying I'm not spitting any no sex before marriage nonsense, because it is nonsense. You need to know that you jive in and out of bed. You know, keeping that area hot is what keeps people together. That's important, and I'm not taking away from that. I'm saying, why do you need to have sex with a stranger? That's my question. Why do you need to have sex with every brand new human being you meet in a dating situation? How come? Why is that so important?
Because then,
to actually say,
as a guy, it's almost like you have nothing to show for it. Then, because you spent $10 at Starbucks, why do you need to get laid for $10 when prostitutes charge $100? You know, $100 an hour, or I don't know. I saw in Law and Order you could get around the world. I don't really know what that means for $300. That's a lot of money. $300. You know, first of all, guys don't want to spend the same amount that it takes to buy yourself a fucking Xbox. That's just ridiculous. Like, I mean, think about it. Like, at least if you pay $300 to buy an Xbox, you get to keep the Xbox. Why are you gonna pay $300 to only use something for an hour? That's just dumb.
But here's my question, though.
It's a bad economy.
Louie B and I know each other pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, I would say he's kind of like you have a big brother sister relationship. Mm-hmm. And here's the funny part: you still haven't answered my question why you need to have sex with a total stranger. I'm saying men, and again, this is aiming it at straight dudes, but you want to have sex with everybody, okay?
Not really.
I'm going to be generous and give you the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. The real number is about 90%. For the sake of fairness, we're going to say 60.
Okay.
60% when the real number is 90, being generous. We're going to say that, you know, I get it. You like to have fun. You like to go out and you like to get laid. Awesome. That sounds good to me.
I'm speaking
What's going to happen when a woman... Hold on one second. Okay. Most of the time, when a girl puts out right away, she's doing it for a few reasons. Very seldom is she just looking to get down. I'm not saying those situations aren't out there, but girls put out right away because they want to feel some sort of connection with you. So you screw her once, now you can't get rid of her. But here's the interesting part. Had you not done that, you probably wouldn't even be in this mess, and you would have saved yourself an annoying problem.
And I'm gonna answer that, and it's probably gonna make a lot of the women that listen to this hate me, but
hate you anyway. But come on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they hate me anyway. But it ain't nothing to cut a chick off nowadays. It's like, okay, you shut down, you block her off Facebook, you block her number from calling you.
Let me tell you something. I've heard some horror stories about the guys who blocked off the ladies.
And, you know, worst case scenario, you know, you call the cops, or you be like, I am sorry, this is wrong number. Do not call back here. Thank you very much. You know, it's very easy. I mean, it's like, And I really hate to sound like this, but and this is basically a response to like basically what I've gone through. Like I've gone on a date with chicks and they just did it because they needed someone to pay for their entertainment until something better came along.
Okay, but that's not the quality of women that I deal with. And if you think that I can't spot one of those girls, you're out of your mind. 10 minutes, I can get to the bottom of it. Yeah, seriously.
I mean, I've been on dates that it's like, okay, you're thinking it's going well, you're respecting her, and it's like, oh, I was just with you because you were paying for dinner, and I didn't have money for food, so but now my ex-boyfriend wants to get back together, so goodbye. It's like, oh. And
well, she wouldn't be my client.
Yeah, I mean, and that's basically, that's why. And this is what one of my god sisters. She told me that basic bitch is basically what's common out there. That's what's common out there is that type of mentality with women.
No, she's actually not correct at all. Mm-hmm. Most women, in my experience of doing this 10 years. They put out right away because they really want to drive it home that they like you and they want to see you again. And again, I'm not saying that's all cases, but that is the majority of what I've seen.
Yeah, that's well, I mean, I guess I have an antenna that's...
But I don't deal with the desperate. I also want to make that inherently clear. I don't deal with anybody desperate.
Okay. Why is that?
Because they're looking for anybody. They're looking for anyone, not someone. They're not looking for, you know what I mean? They're looking for whoever will take them. I can't deal with that. So that's not what we do here.
Yeah. So Kenan, have you like what experiences have you gone through dating?
I mean, I've had definitely many experiences, but one that I want to talk about just happened today. I was on the date, but I was sitting at the bar, Olive Garden. I love the salad for some reason. I don't know why. It's unlimited and the dressing is amazing. But I'm sitting next to this couple. They're on a date. Food comes. And immediately the girl takes her fork and puts it in the man's plate, whatever dish he had, and starts picking from his plate first, before even touching her own food. And I almost exploded, and I wasn't even in the date. And then fast forward that about 45 minutes, when they finished their meal, she didn't even finish like her food. It was still a full plate of food, which basically this guy just wasted probably
I mean, did they throw it away or did they take it home?
No, she threw it away.
Oh, that's faithful.
He finished his plate. But when she finally got to whatever she was doing with her plate, she didn't do nothing.
Hold on a second. Is this a first, were you able to tell what level of dating they were at? How do you know they haven't been together 5 years?
They definitely were in a relationship. It wasn't like a first date.
Okay, so I would find it odd if a brand new person just, I'm going to eat your food now. But to do that, it's usually a level of comfort. Your boyfriend's cool with you picking it at his food.
I mean, she had that comfortability. She seemed to have more of a comfortability with just the entitlement of that whole experience versus with him. It's the same thing when I could go on a first date. Say if I don't really do the movie dates, but say it's a movie date, and I ask the lady if she wants popcorn, and she goes no, and then I get my popcorn, which is the right quantity that I know I can take at this movie. and then while we're at the movie, now you want my popcorn when I asked you ahead of time.
And then if you pull back, you're being selfish.
Now I'm selfish.
Now you're an asshole. Right. So why not though when that happens? Okay, so all right. I've spoken to many ladies in my day. And not to mention
in your day?
I also own a business entirely geared towards women. So this is not just coming out of matchmaking. I have also sold things to these women, to women in general, for the past 9.5 years. Women, and I hear this in business, I'm even in real estate when I find another girl and we kind of schmooze, women on a first or second date, which a movie, by the way, a first date, I would even say a second date is a terrible idea.
I agree.
Have sometimes this, like, I don't want to say self-esteem issue because that's not the right word, but kind of like this fear that if they order something to eat, you're going to think they're like this fat pig that just sits and gorges themselves. So women sometimes hold back a little bit on like the first few dates of, you know, they'll order a salad or they'll order half a sandwich and a cup of soup. You know what I mean? Because they don't want to appear as someone who actually eats like a regular human being.
Okay, speaking as a fat pig myself, ladies, eat, because you make me feel like an asshole. Like I'm freaking macking on a burger, and you want to eat a salad? Come on, you know. If we're gonna break bread, let's break bread.
I mean, I happen to be predominantly vegetarian, but I can pack away brown rice like a mofo.
Nice.
Kenan, what were you saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're overthinking it. If a guy is offering you something and you would like that something, then all you have to do is say yes. There's no deeper thought or reaction that the guy's gonna have based on you saying yes or no to a bag of popcorn or a cheeseburger or whatever it is. It's not going to change our mind about anything throughout this date. If anything, I worked very hard to spend an extra $7.50 for that bag of popcorn.
That's hysterical. And you know what's actually really, I think, equally as funny is that it's common. I'm saying I've heard it in every situation, from matchmaking to business, even with my own, you know, bullshitting with my girlfriends about the eating on a first date. What is hilarious to me, it's like, you won't eat because you don't want to appear fat. All right, fine, no problem. Mm-hmm. You'll drink this SOB under the table, though. He's going to pay a bar tab. You two would never have racked up at the effing Olive Garden. And you're sloppy and drunk, and you're not worried about what he's going to think of you in that moment, which I understand. It's usually instigated. But I'm saying there's less shame in getting belligerently drunk than there is in eating a meal. That's something that I've seen again and again.
Oh, definitely. I remember one girl I picked up in the city, and we were driving from the bar. And I will tell you that there is very few things that a woman can do to derail whatever male plans a guy has. There's just very little that you could do. But we're driving back home, and she has to roll the rear window down so she throws up outside of the car. And I was just too through. That one was like, okay.
I mean, I would imagine if she had told you, or asked you rather, to pull over because she felt like she was going to be sick, I can only imagine you would have obliged. But, like, she took the option of just like, nope, I'm going to roll down the window now and hurl like a son of a bitch on the FDR.
Yeah, and then we had to pull over. We then had to pull. Luckily, we did hit the highway.
We
had to pull over. It was just not a good experience.
Was there any runoff on the door?
I would assume so.
Yeah. I mean,
you didn't. At least the lady about it and like left $10 in the cup holder or something so you could get a car wash.
Well, 30.
Oh yeah, well yeah. What am I talking about? I don't know where you can get a $10.
Oh yeah, it wasn't my car. Luckily. Oh. Because I am a complete dick for little things. Completely. But throw up on my car would have set me off to a whole different stratosphere that I can't even imagine what I would have done. So I'm glad that happened. Thank you, God, that it wasn't my car because I'm not in jail.
Right. No, yeah. It'd be like, I would have thrown a bitch out the car. And honestly, by the way, I've heard from dudes who've done it and women who've been on the receiving end of it, and thank God that's never happened to me. But but I have heard of dudes or chicks getting sick on a date, thrown up in someone's car, or, you know, I've heard a lot of Tinder situations that have gone bad that have involved getting, you know, sick and drunk, and legit, chick throws you out her house, or the guy throws you out of his house. I've heard of that actually a couple of times in recent history since the launch of the excellent idea Tinder. Oh yeah, that's a problem.
Well, that brings me to my next question. Tinder, has it helped? Has it helped or hurt dating?
Okay.
Well, people have arthritis now, so it definitely hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, left.
Well, so here's the funny part of that I've seen about Tinder. Mm-hmm. All right, 2 dates, and one of them I actually know personally. So I'm saying a very dear friend of mine, my friend David, met his fiance on Tinder, and I mean, this is one case that I know personally, but keeping my ear low to the ground, I've heard of 5 marriages now as a result of meeting on Tinder, and I think that Tinder is really what you... I feel like it's, you know, it's what you make of it. Like, but the only thing is that I think people need to be very clear. If someone puts on their Tinder bio, which is it only gives you like, what, 500 characters? Like, you can't write a proper bio on Tinder. That's number one. But like, utilize it wisely. If you're not looking for a hookup, state, I'm not looking for a hookup. And if you're not looking for a hookup, then when something is
get off Tinder.
Exactly.
Even if it's cute, you know, it's like, I think I showed you guys, or I told you guys last night about this French guy from Tinder. I happen to be on Tinder, and I swiped right to a clearly Jewish and French gentleman, very attractive, age appropriate. My Tinder bio states, I'm not looking for a hookup, and God, heaven fucking help you. If you try to fuck me on the first date from Tinder, oh my God, you treat me like a prostitute, I'm going to treat you like a John that doesn't pay. I think that, like, believe what someone puts on Tinder. Like, if a woman says no hookup, or a dude says no hookup, and you're just looking to get laid, swipe left. I don't care how hot they are, there really is a million fish in the sea, and you will find that special someone that you're looking to hit it with tonight. I guarantee you that. That I can promise you. Like,
is Tinder the place for that, though?
No, it isn't. It isn't. I mean,
I want to know, like, what was the original...
Tinder was supposed to be the straight version of...
that's not true anyway. That's what I thought. So why are we looking for real meaning? Like, I hate on Tinder, we both swiped right, and now you want to ask me about my passions and dreams. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right. So Tinder was, as was explained to me, Tinder was originally designed, you're absolutely right, to be a spin-off of Grindr. A hookup site, which, by the way, I've heard of many relationships from in the gay community from Grindr, so I don't really know that they're, you know, maybe they're a little bit more casual about it, from what I understand, but it's still the same vibe from what I've seen anyway.
Yeah, they whore with a purpose. That's my term, whoring with a purpose. That's exactly what they do.
Yeah, no, that's actually, I couldn't have said it better. That is exactly it. They whore with a purpose. Straight up. You are correct. Yes. Yes, that is 100%. They whore with a purpose. Definitely. Yep.
I mean, wouldn't the term be slut with a purpose? Because whores do it for the money. Sluts do it because they like the taste.
Well, whores are, you know, and sluts, I think, kind of are lumped in the same category. I think you're segueing into prostitution, where they actually are like, no shit, you have to pay me. I think that it's like, people want something meaningful to grow from something casual, or to grow from some, like, hold on, maybe that wasn't the right terminology. They want something meaningful, but they want to do it at an accelerated rate. Does that make any sense? Like,
yes.
I'm going to treat this like a booty call with the same dedication, though, as the getting to know you process in like a dating situation.
Yeah. I mean, the shit that pisses me off about, like, internet dating as a whole is, like, and I heard a comedian, in the open mic circuit say this, like, they talk about, hey, I'm not looking for sex, come correct, talk to me like a lady, but their profile picture has them sticking their ass out in thong panties. Like, what the fuck?
So part of our show is to field questions from callers. Since this is our first show, we decided to go to the streets of NYC and talk to couples and see exactly what's pinning them down in the dating game.
Yeah, we don't really have any callers yet, but people had opinions last night, let me tell you. They really did. The first couple we interviewed, they were interesting, and they were actually not so much a couple. They were more friends.
They were friends that you tried to matchmake on the spot.
Well, that's because they were cute, and I happen to think they would make an attractive pair, but I guess the spark isn't there. But she certainly, I don't know, she had a lot of great insight when we asked her questions.
Yo, try to say, you guys look beautiful together, and
yeah. Right. The DJ. Mm-hmm. Shout out to the DJs and the MCs and all the artists out there. That's the group that we talked to first.
Well, they were also, I don't know, that was one of those, I'm a matchmaker, not a prophet, so, like, they also had a decent, there seemed to be, like, a level of mutual respect and, care for one another. So sometimes that can be friendly, sometimes it can be romantic.
No, I think even though you have that eye, I would say that they were vibing too. Now, that could have just come from years of friendship. I don't know. It seemed like there could have been a vibe there. Maybe just our interaction got them thinking of something that that they didn't even know.
That's happened.
But what did you think of that whole? Because she was saying about just honesty in relationships, and I forget what kind of the point.
We had never met this person before. Went to a random stranger. What do you think? What's the problem? She straight up, on no uncertain terms, said half the time, I don't know what the hell this guy wants from me. It's like, if you just want to get laid, be straight up and open and honest. So I think that's a really prime example that, what the intentions are, I feel like can really get lost in the wash, if that makes any sense.
That makes complete sense, and that's the philosophy that I try to invoke, is just 100% honesty. Sometimes you get called a jerk and an asshole and those things by women, but once you learn to really be honest with yourself, and then that other person is honest with their self, it seems to make things a lot more smooth.
It definitely does. And one thing that I think, again, and I don't mean to focus like so much on straight issues, this particular, we'll get into, I would say more than half of the people I deal with are straight, but I definitely deal with the gay also. But in straight women, it's when a guy tells you, I'm looking for a piece of ass, believe him. Don't accept this as a challenge. Oh my God. Don't screw him if you're not looking for a hookup. Don't comply if it's not. If it's what you want for the evening and you're like taking a mini vacation from what you want, if you will, that's totally fine. We all need to have, I think, that pressure, lifted every now and again when it's not happening, and you just find someone. There needs to be a boundary put in place. Like, don't hook up with someone you respect. No. You have respect for them, but don't hook up with somebody if you want more. If you like each other, you're flirty, you respect each other, you're going to keep each other's, business confidential, that's one issue. If you want more, that's when it's a problem. Don't believe that he's going to change, by screwing you long enough, you're going to get commitment out of it. No, almost never. At least not from what I've. They want the velvetyness of the how we met. I guess
the fairy tale, the Hollywood. We met on top of the Freedom Tower as a plane is coming from a terrorist attack,
and I catcalled you.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
But I was cute enough, so it wasn't harassment.
Yeah, right.
Right. So in that moment,
which is funny because I have a catcalling story from last night.
Who were you catcalling?
I technically wasn't catcalling because she couldn't mind her biz-nuts. I was talking to the guys on the block, and I told a joke, and a woman chimed in. Like, okay, basically I said, I don't know, we'll edit this out if this is not appropriate, but I said, I wouldn't call a woman a slut because most women can't fuck, and at that point there was a woman passing by, she's like, that's not true. I'm like, yes it is. He's like, no it's not. I'm like, prove it. And she said, fuck you. I was like, and I said, hey, you're the one that started it. It's not catcalling. Yeah,
no, that wasn't catcalling. She harassed you by interjecting her opinion on your proven fact, right? Like, that's what, of course you've done research on your opinion.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so me knowing you, I already know that you've done extensive research on that.
Yeah,
I also told you from before, in the other interaction that you told me about, this was another prime opportunity where she gave you the ball and said, let's play.
Oh no, she was a lesbian. She had the whole lesbian haircut and everything, so the
lesbian haircut, and now we've alienated the gay community during Pride Week.
No, Pride Week was last week. This is a new week. You guys.
It's Pride over.
Yeah, it is.
I guess Sunday was okay.
Yeah, that's it. Because you know what, Puerto Ricans, we only get one day. We used to be able to celebrate the whole month, and then the fucking home. No, I'm just kidding.
I think that you are going straight out of line on this one. But it brings up a good question. How long do I gotta keep the rainbow filter on my Facebook page? Because I don't want to look homophobic. Like, I don't want to be the first one to take it down.
I know, right? Friends. When is the inappropriate time? We definitely think it's fine. Like, God bless, we support you, and we are I'm happy too. I did not go because I didn't want my kids to, ruin it. Not ruin it in a bad way, but like run away from me, and then I'm running through people and like chasing after children. They shut the shit down. Like, that might have happened. So I didn't want to ruin it for anybody.
With all those people with the rainbow filter on their Facebook, like how many brownie points are they earning, and what do you get when you turn, and who do you turn it into? Do you get like a stuffed giraffe or something?
No, it's a show of solidarity.
To be homophobic, it's just absolutely repugnant. Like, so much gets put into the gay issue because these people have had to literally, much like the African American community, literally fight the United States government for their civil rights. I don't think this should ever have been a vote. Why were they denied the right to get married, but they were not denied the right to pay taxes, for Christ's sake? Like, why is it you can fund this government, but you can't utilize all the privileges? I'm saying, like, you
can find
let's take a disgusting situation for a second, okay? Let's just take a disgusting situation for a second. If a 45-year-old dude is secretly, quietly, and legally, let's say, in an emotional affair with a 16-year-old kid, let's say nothing ever happens, nothing more than a few looks, whatever. Like, when the kid turns 18 and the dude is 47, that's it. Totally legal. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter what our opinions are. This is a legal situation. You know what I mean? Like, does that make any sense? We don't have to like it. We don't have to agree with it. But to like, I'm saying I don't dislike it or disagree with it. But like, if there's no excuse. In my opinion, there's no excuse. This should have ever been wasted the time of the Supreme Court. Like, straight up, it's disgusting.
Well, shame on the American people for having to making it such a climate that it had to be decided in the Supreme Court, and not just like, hey, let's do this. Like, I mean, I made this joke tonight at a open mic, and it fell flat, but it was like, the people that hate gays are more active than the people that support gays.
I don't think that's true.
Hey,
Who's getting?
you okay, we have the Westboro Baptist Church that goes all around the country protesting gay funerals. You actually made a joke about the Hasidic people hiring Mexicans.
Oh, that was so fucking ridiculous. How could you not? I mean, oh my God. So those dumbasses were dressed up in Hasidic garb looking ridiculous.
They don't know they don't know no better. They just
$10 an hour off the book.
Break on this one.
Yep.
Play the video since it's uploaded. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that and wrap it up.
Yeah, let's close off with them. Filter some shit out. Let's do the video.
All right.
Beyond 11:30, ask random pedestrians what they think is wrong with dating. What would you like to see change in the getting to know you process? What do you guys think needs to happen to make this shit better?
Honesty. I think honesty. Like, if you just want to fuck, say that.
That's right. Just
because
tell
some
me.
people just want
Right?
that. Right.
Right. Just let me know.
That would help a lot of situations.
So what do you guys? Okay, so yeah, straight up honesty. Tell me coming in, what the fuck do you want out of me?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think? Where can women? If you don't mind me asking, are you straight?
I am very straight.
You are a straight man. See, this is what we have high demand for. By the way, as a matchmaker,
Straight is the old.
Why are you trying to throw brothers out of the fucking closet is what I need to know right now.
I wanted to know if, like, you know, he could be her gay best friend.
All right.
We're getting the perspective of people.
We're gonna put him out. We're gonna put dudes on the spot. Maybe what if he wasn't ready?
We're not going to out that. Then he could have. I mean, listen. That he didn't have to disclose any life changing pieces of information
By the
against
way,
his
my
will.
dad doesn't know.
We did not. I want to make clear that we did not hold these people at gunpoint. They spoke to us willingly.
Oh well, I did, but okay.
Requirement.
a straight, pretty black man. Apparently,
Okay.
we need that in inventory. We do.
All right, I didn't know that.
No, it's on high demand.
Okay.
I swear to God, you said
No, I'm serious.
Told,
That's what chicks want.
You just told a black man that he is
That a bunch of women want him from every race and religion.
No, you just called this man inventory. You just brought this guy 600 years ago.
Are you kidding me?
You just brought this.
Shit.
You just brought this back six. I'm surprised you didn't.
Like to call it six sale. Are you kidding me? No, this is what the ladies want. I'm serious.
I'm surprised you didn't put shackles on him and rename him Toby. Shit.
I don't know. Right, at a later date, who knows? But we don't proselytize.
Yep.
The Jews, the blacks, the whites, the Puerto Ricans,
Everyone
the
wants
Asians.
us.
They're like, does he have a job? I was like, shit, what do you want me to do? You know, I'm not a miracle worker. I can just find you as much as I can.
No doubt.
But like, where do you think women need to improve? Because we all, girl, you know that we know men need to, it's not even, we can't. I mean, again, power of one, you know what I mean? Like, can't all, yeah. But where do women need to improve? What is going to do it for you to say, not even I want to be with you, I'm going to consider you forever. Right. What has to be? Because people don't get, there's a difference between dating for bullshit, dating to get off, and then to find the one.
Correct.
Your baby mama, your wife, the woman you're going to spend, earn, you know, the ups and downs, the struggles of life, the real...
And just be synced with me, you know? So
Right.
instead of worrying about what everybody else thinks, so worry about how many likes you have, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
worry about what are we building?
Right.
And let's plug from all the bullshit and let's get to me and you.
So let me ask you, like, would you feel like, would having someone set you up, does it take the magic out of it?
Having someone set me up?
Yeah, I mean, you know, one of the biggest complaints that I hear as a matchmaker is there's no mystery, there's no story.
Because
they, right. I'm saying, would that take some of the finesse out of it for you? No.
If you're bringing me a quality product, I don't see what the difference is.
Boom. See?
Okay, and
Right.
last question. The last question is actually from you guys. Do you have one question that you just want to put out to the universe of dating? Just one question that you wish would
Y'all
be
need
answered.
to get y'all business off of social media. So my question is, why do y'all feel you need to post everything? That's my question.
I mean, we have a show, so we have to, but that's different.
Talking about relationships.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
talking
I'm talking about
relationships.
relationships.
Yeah.
Relationships.
Yeah.
Why do
Why you need
relationships
to
have to
post
be?
every one of your feelings out? Just keep things
Shit's got to be a little bit more private. Share less.
So
right.
one question that you just want the dating gods to answer you.
I think it all boils down to honesty. Like, what the fuck do you want? What do you want? You're dating me. You think whatever you think of me. Like, what is it that you want out of this?
Right.
Because maybe I just want to fuck too.
Right, girl.
Maybe I just want to go out to dinner too. Maybe I want a friends with benefits. Maybe I want to search for something deeper. Like,
right.
if we're gonna go full force, let's do that. But let's be honest about it.
Right.
That's it.
Like, know exactly what it is walking in the door.
Right. Yeah. Don't. Let's not lead each other on. It doesn't need to be wasted time or unnecessary energy.
Right. So you're basically saying, even if you just want the casual element of casual sex, that's fine. Just please at least have enough respect for me to let me know that's where you're at, and you might actually get it rather than
here. Come
right.
on, we're all grown.
See?
Thank you. We appreciate your time. Really
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
All right. So one of the things I think that he hit on the head, and I've actually seen again and again, just again and again be true, is for some reason men, especially when they come to me after they've dated the psychos, every situation you can imagine. The grandmothers set them up. Like, I'm usually getting like the raw human being at that point. You know what I mean? Like the person who wants different and they're doing something different. Like, that's an action, and it's usually the same thing. It boils down to, I want loyalty and honesty. Men, believe it or not, straight men that I've met, that I've spoken to, that I've worked with and set up and married off, have all said the same thing. They value, it would appear, more the respect and the loyalty and the secrecy of a woman. I'm not saying modesty. I'm not telling you to cover up, for God's sakes. I'm saying the secrecy of the relationship, that it's actually private. Like, women want to feel loved, men really kind of want to feel respected, and like loved is almost secondary. That's what I've seen and again, and I actually think that's exactly what he communicated.
No, definitely. I would have to just applaud that because we do just really want that loyalty, respect, and then not secrecy, but just more so privacy. Everything doesn't have to be out and about and in the air. Like, it just doesn't have to be all put out there. There should be some things that are just private to our relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the whole sly player, like, I'm not going to let the world know that I got my lady. Like, I'm not saying that type of privacy.
No, but yeah, I think that's something that, people, I hate to say it, I've seen, and maybe you guys would agree, there are times people don't want to see you happy. It's not, it's actually funny. In Judaism, it's something called an ayin hara. It's the evil eye. And like, I'm a very spiritual person, so I get a little, I keep lots of stuff off of Facebook because I'm just like, I don't know if I need to share everything. Like, I'm much sooner to share a ridiculous thought about someone's outfit than like something, that really affected me during my day. Yeah. Like, there needs to be some off-limits topics about your private life, I think, and it's something that guys again and again, like, if you know his friend, okay, and he's seen with you in public on a regular basis, like, and you're spending time, you're hanging out, you're whatever, like, yeah, that's a girlfriend, you're not a secret, but like, you don't need to be like, that doesn't need to be blasted out to everybody. It's like, you never know what someone feels in their heart by seeing you happy with somebody. Like, why give people the opportunity to experience jealousy on any level when it comes, like, why put a stumbling block in front of a blind man? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think that definitely it happens, but like you said, some people don't want to see others' happiness. And I mean, it's an old James Franco proverb, they hate us because they ain't us.
Right. So, like, no, it's really funny. I was kicking it with a comic for a minute recently, nice boy, and we were talking about a mutual friend of ours, and you know what? This guy that I was seeing for a second, I'm not going to say who he is because, but he actually did a decent size show recently, and it was really awesome. And he like his YouTube hits are high, and it was really an awesome thing. And he told me, he's like, I would have thought so and so would have been like proud of me or like, you know, congratulated me. You know what I mean? Rather than diminishing it. And he's like, you know, but, and again, that, you know, it's kind of like, wow, I thought you as my friend and colleague in the business would have felt, you know, like I would have been proud of you. You know what I mean? Like, and you see that a lot in like when you find personal happiness and when you're really getting to know somebody. Like it's one thing after you guys are married and you have, you know, a bunch of toddlers together and then you post your shit so your sister in Iowa can see your baby from afar. That's a different situation. Like you're not there yet, and like maybe you shouldn't be there until there's solidified commitment in place. You know what I mean? Like if you two have just been hanging out, making out, and banging for 5 weeks, maybe the whole world just doesn't need to know that.
Right. And then something that the lady had touched on was more honesty.
Honesty. Okay. Guys need to be cool with hearing no. All right? There are plenty of fish in the sea. Make it straight up. Okay? Like one of the things I applaud Tinder for is you see no shortage of profiles on the men and the women's side, both that are here on vacation. It's summertime in NYC. Like they're over here from Argentina or from France or from wherever the shit. And they're like straight up, I'm on vacation. I'm looking for a pretty lady to hang out with. And like basically he's telling you, I want to have a good time and fuck you for the next 12 days. I mean, seriously, it may or may not be sleazy. I don't happen to think it is as long as all parties are, you know, down for whatever. But that's it. You're actually down for whatever. And the dude is telling you that. So if y'all have a really nice 12 days together, that's awesome. He's going to go back to the land of wherever the hell he is from. And you may never be a thought in his head again. And you've got to be totally down with that. Like, guys need to be 110%. Be okay with hearing no from a pretty girl. Like, don't lead her on. And, like, women need to truly stop. I've seen in straight dating, stop thinking you're going to fix somebody. Or you're Murphy's law. Your love is different. It's likely not. People are not so different. So, you know...
I told you earlier that that's like the 100% backing. Like that's my philosophy is 100% honesty. You keep it 110 with you. Sometimes the women don't reciprocate that honesty with themselves to the table. That's really my point. You're right. And guys, like you said, be comfortable with hearing no. In the whole honesty philosophy, you are going to take L's. Like, everybody's not going to be responsive to that. But 9 times out of 10, it shocks the system so much to the female that they are more cooperative with the honesty. They actually appreciate that because they don't get it that much. So the few L's that you're going to take isn't even really worth it once you get that core belief that I'm going to always be honest. It works a whole lot more smoothly. It
really does. And like, I don't know. I think like it lets people feel better about, you know, it gives you a chance to, I think it gives people a chance to recuperate a little bit after an intense, you know, breakup. I mean, you have to be honest. Like as long as you're upfront and this person knows that they're not even a strong contender in the, you know, like one pile of bullshit that I've seen again and again, and then we'll wrap it up, is guys who get out of long relationships and then they kick it with an older woman for 6 months and then they break her fucking soul when they're healed and they've been nursed back to health and they then go date a woman more their own age. Seriously.
The nurturing of mother's milk, I guess. That's a phenomenon I'm not aware of. I got to look more into that. That should be a topic for another day. But to back on the last tidbit on the honesty, and we can play the soundbite from that other couple that we spoke to that wasn't really featured on this episode, but they were in the open relationship, and he had said that his prior relationship was an open relationship. So there's clearly a guy right there who has been honest with himself, and he is trickling down his core beliefs to the relationships that he gets in. But it all starts with that honesty.
Could be. I had some interesting thoughts on that interaction that we can explore at a later date. I'm not so sure. It was. I got the vibe from him that it was. This is a complying with a demand.
Okay. I would say don't get too much into that, and we'll pick that back up next week.
So yeah,
sounds good.
Okay, well then let's close it out now. Like to thank everyone that downloads this. Please tell your friends and family about this. Hopefully we helped.
Maybe not your family. This might not be something you want to share with your family.
What if you got cousins? What if you got cousins your age?
Right.
You know, hey, you don't know if you have some aunts or uncles out there that need help in the dating game and or the dating scene and help date more responsibly, or if you have like a female cousin that's acting reckless out there. However, listen to this and tell her to knock that shit off. But anyways, it's this is valuable information. I don't care what age you are. This is what you need to know. This is the new reality of what's going on in our society. So
one thing I think that's important to mention is we're not here to sell anything, proselytize, or necessarily even give advice. We're giving basic suggestions based on life experiences and simply our opinion of what we've seen in a trial and error from personal experiences and otherwise. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That it's really, about how can we all grow together and learn from each other and maybe figure out a way to make it better and kind of laugh at the process as we all kind of deal with it.
All right. So any final words, Kenan?
Yeah, I just want to say enjoyed it. You can follow me, stalk me on all the internet. Just go to my website, KenanWeaver.com. Take care.
Alrighty.
Have a great day, guys. We'll see you next week. Yep. Behave this 4th of July weekend.
All right.
Not too much, though.
This has been For Love and Play. Mahalo.
Good night.